This is a breakdown video on Joe Louis versus Omelio Agramonte, looking at what we can learn from Louis. This is his 63rd fight. He has had to come out of retirement for financial reasons and currently has a record of 61 wins and 2 losses. In this fight, we see him nullify the jab with consistent parries and head movement, the inside slip being used so consistently, which has led to some devastating counters. Joe uses his right cross to the head significantly less in this fight than many others and seems to control the fight more with his stiff jab. Joe puts a lot of body work in, mainly the right hand to the ribs. We'll get right into it. On how Joe effectively removes the jab. His whole career has been excellent with parries, pushing the punch off target. Parries can make the opponent overcommit and easy to counter. When parrying, Joe does the basics so well, nothing fancy. He will make you miss and hit you with a stiff jab for your effort. Joe's jab is strong. It is there to wear you down, whereas Agramonte's flicks his jab. It's weak. A lot of the time it's like a rangefinder. I noticed that he aims a lot for Joe's right hand too, which might be the reason why Joe slips to the inside and he doesn't use his right hand to the head much. When it comes to the jab war and getting control of range, Joe is superior. I've always said the stiff jab is the best as it hurts you and therefore you're less likely to get countered and it wears them down. I have a little selection of clips showing that Joe is willing to take the jab to land a better punch, and that's because they're weak, they're not damaging him, so he's going to try and land a right hand over the top. In Dempsey's book, he says not to use rangefinders or flick jabs because of this, and he says to use feints instead. In most of his other fights, Louis would control the distance with the jab and he would try to counter yours with the right cross to the head. But he's very left-hand dominant in this one, which is why I wanted to make this video, and it shows you how to really use the left hand effectively. Louis was known for his short punching. Omelio is practically on top of him here, and he still manages to get uppercuts in there. And he adds the left hook on, which he was known for, the right uppercut left hook, which is an excellent combination. Louis hasn't used his right cross as much in this fight as others, but he has still done a lot of good work with his right cross. So I've added that in. Louis scores the knockdown with the right cross as well, which I've added. Louis preferred the right cross to the right straight, and I've added combination punches in here where he's mixing the right cross and left hook. Joe was committed to bodywork, mainly the right hand to the ribs. This helps drain the energy of Omelio and it scores points for the round. Hitting the body also adds variety, which makes you less predictable, and this makes you harder to counter, so by having more weapons in your arsenal, you have a better defense. This is partly what is meant by having a good defense is a good offense. Joe did not left hook to the body all that much, but I have some examples here. The inside slip, slipping to the left, is more risky than the outside slip, as you're going toward their right hand and your head is getting closer to your opponent. However, Joe has shown how effective the inside slip is when countering the jab throughout the fight with such consistency. I imagine he just kept doing it over and over because it was effective and Omelio had no answer for it. He just kept getting hit by this vicious counters and he didn't make any significant changes to adapt to this. He was getting hit by stiff jabs and left hooks all night. Lewis is known for his excellent balance, but when you're throwing fully committed punches, even the best will slip sometimes. The inside counters were mainly the jab and left hook, with a few right hands. Even after his retirement, his counters snapped the head back of Omelio. If you have seen my video summary of Lewis's style, you'd know I love the inside slip left hook counter to the jab. It's just devastating and shows expert level boxing to do this so consistently. He did a lot of jab counters too. His jab will hurt at the best of times, let alone when you've committed to your own punch. If he manages to catch you with a stiff jab while you're coming forward, it would feel more like a right hand. This clip shows how Joe would apply pressure using his head movement and parries. He also buckles the knees of Omelio with a stiff jab at the end. Just look at Omelio's legs after he gets hit here. I hope you found it interesting. I really like this fight because of how consistent those counters were, and I'll be doing a lot more like this and comparing it to modern boxers too. Thank you for watching.